Show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI bath and shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-430-1186 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-430-1186. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath and Shower. That's 1-800-430-1186.
The following program is sponsored by Bay Area Medical Can Care Clinic.
The latest from AccuWeather at the top and bottom of the hour. Only on AM 860, The Answer.
Times of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm in parts of the area this afternoon. Today's high 93. Clouds breaking tonight, low 79. Tomorrow, sunshine, areas of high clouds in the morning, then mostly cloudy in the afternoon with a thunderstorm and a high of 92. Plan with confidence. Download the redesigned AccuWeather app today. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Drew Shannon for AM 860, The Answer.
And I'm on. This is Dr. Bill, your radio MD. I don't know if I'm streaming today or not, Ken. I can't see it on the Restream IO, but if anybody out there is looking at Facebook or YouTube, let me know if I'm streaming or not. You can call Ken at 877-969-8600, 877-969-8600. I think I kind of screwed things up on vacation. I was away for 2 weeks, by the way, guys, as you may or may not know. We took a Caribbean cruise, Ken. We were in the Caribbean. What do you think?
I love it there.
I love it. You know, it's really nice. Now, we were on the Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas, which is 222,000 tons of ship. It's over 1,000 feet long. I guess it's as big or bigger than an aircraft carrier. Guess how many people we had on there?
Those things, about 5,000-6,000 sometimes.
8,000, and they weren't
How many?
8,000, and they weren't even full.
Really?
They were 500 short.
It's amazing, though. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you're crowded usually.
No,
unless you're at an event like a show or dinner or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the shows I went to, they weren't completely full. But when you see people getting off the ship, then you realize there's a lot of people on this thing. It's a big boy. And they have a central park. So it's a nice little park you can stroll through. It's open air, and there's restaurants and shops on each side. There's a bar that actually goes up and down on a hydraulic lift. It goes from Central Park all the way down to the promenade, which is the main area, which is huge. I actually filmed some of it, and I'm still trying to figure out how to upload it. I'll figure it out. At any rate, it also has a boardwalk. It's got 2 huge outdoor theaters. It's got an ice skating rink. Can you believe that? An ice skating rink. So you can go ice skating on the ship, or you can go watch an ice skating show. Of course, it's got theaters and comedy clubs, and I think about 8 or 10 bars, 6 or 8 specialty restaurants, as well as the usual herd dining rooms. And so you can buy a package, which is not bad. I think it cost us like $600 a person for specialty dining. So for 8 nights, we could dine at any of the restaurants with no additional charge. Otherwise, if you don't buy that package, you have to pay as you go. So if you go to the Chop Steakhouse or the Italian place or Izumi or any of the specialty restaurants, you have to pay an additional charge. So it's not a bad deal. And we enjoyed it.
You get a drink package too and all that kind of thing that you
We did. We got the drink package, and it'll pay for any drink that's $13 or less, and then after $13 you get a 40% discount. So if you want to buy a better bottle of wine at dinner, let's say it's a $60 bottle of wine, you get $24 off on it. And we took the kids, Zeke and his girlfriend, with us to eat out every night. And so that turned out to be a pretty good deal because they just didn't charge the kids. So we actually had, a foursome there. They thought we were all in one group, which is fine. That's fine. We don't mind. So they've got 2 rock climbing walls. They've got two areas where you can go and practice surfing. And they've got a zip line. They've got
a zip line.
They've got a zip line.
This is a big ship.
It's a big ship. They've got the fitness room with all the bicycles and steppers and workout equipment, and I mean it's huge. So I went up there one day and I was playing some Uptown Funky Walk and dancing while I was pedaling the bike, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but maybe I am.
Last 2 Sundays we did try to connect. We were thinking about doing it on the air, but we could not connect with the internet. So
you know what? We had better luck with Holland America when we were in the Caribbean. I mean the Mediterranean. Remember last fall?
I know. I was thinking, how did we do this a year ago when he was on the other side of the world practically? We can't get him from the Caribbean.
I don't know what the problem was. We did give a negative review for the internet when we did our like and dislike of the Royal Caribbean, and we bought a package and they said, well, you have 4 devices, but only 2 would work at any one time, and then you got yourself kicked off if someone else logged on, and the kids were using it, and then they went and got their own package, but I don't think they ever got off of ours. So that's a little bit of a problem with Royal Caribbean. The food was good, no complaints. Chop Steakhouse was not that great, but all the other restaurants were really, really quite good. I was impressed. Not that they were necessarily 5-star, but they surely were 4-star and maybe 5-star.
Well, Royal Caribbean is the favorite of my wife and myself. So
yeah, it's a great cruise line. We went to Labadee, which is the little peninsula off of northern Haiti that the Royal Caribbean Company actually bought, and they have developed it into like a little resort area. So it's a day resort. They have a zip line, which is pretty cool. Have you been there?
I've been on that one. Yes.
That is a long zip line.
That is good. Yeah.
It's I'd say at least a quarter to half a mile long, and it's a 500-foot drop from the top of the little mountain there down to the beach, and you go right over the bay, and so it's a beautiful view. And if you fall in, well, you're in the bay.
Yeah, essentially, but it's beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful. They also have a roller coaster that's they're 1 car at a time roller coaster, so it pulls you up the mountain and then flings you down, and it doesn't have any loop-de-loops, so it's really not that.
Well, that's new since I was there.
It's not that bad, yeah. And you have your own handbrake, and so Myung was sitting. We were tandem, and she's yelling and screaming, of course. So I had to put on the brake. Then after it was all over, she said, "Is that it?" I think it lasted about a minute. You're back down
with the brakes on.
Yeah, and so then we went to the little shopping area. They have a building with local and trinkets that are all made in China, I think. So I told you I got into an argument with a woman in the shop about where Buddha was from. Did I tell you that?
I don't recall that argument, no.
And she said, Buddha's from China. I said, no, he was from northern India, from what's now Nepal. And she said, no. And we were arguing back and forth. Finally, she picked up a statue of Buddha. She said, look, made in China. And so I guess that's the definitive answer there. I don't know that he ever made it across the Himalayas over into China, but the Chinese are now claiming him as theirs.
Well, just like the China Sea, that's right.
And then we had a little bit of a sidewalk shopping excursion. They've got an area behind the building that's like a block of little stalls and Haitians selling goods, mostly clothing and hats and stuff like that. And they're, typically yelling at you, come over here and buy my stuff. And so I finally settled on a shirt that I thought was made in Haiti, but it said Tommy Hilfiger. Now, whether or not it was really a Tommy Hilfiger, I don't know. But when I was there several years ago, the shirts were made in Haiti, and they were really nice. So at any rate, the guys all $25, and so I started speaking a little French, and there was 3 or 4 guys sitting there, 5 guys, and the oldest and heaviest set guy, I guess, was the boss man. And I said, I ain't paying $25, and no l'argent, you know, I don't have that much money. And I'm yakking half in English and half in French, and so, you know, I scooched between a couple of the Haitian guys, and I'm, you know, beating him up, and I got him down to $15. I probably could have gotten him lower, but I figured.
Oh, 15 for a shirt, that's pretty good.
15, you know, you're going to pay 5 to 10 at a resale shop, so I figure what the heck. And he gave me a big handshake, and he said, I like the way you do business. So it was.
They expect some of that. So,
yeah,
you know.
it was fun. And then when we got to Aruba's an interesting island. Now it's pretty arid. They have cacti and a lot of beautiful lava rock formations and limestone. There's boulders, and they're really neat landscape and scenery. And there's a great big old lighthouse. I'll probably put that slideshow up in a few minutes so people can see it. In fact, I'll do that right now. Let me get that going so you can see
A lighthouse? I don't. I was there once. I don't remember the lighthouse.
You don't remember it?
No.
Why not?
Well, because I had just my wife and I were on a second honeymoon. It was our 10th anniversary, so that would have been about 17 years ago. So I just had her in my eyes.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I was looking at the scenery. Though I did take a cab ride with a local cab driver. We wanted to just see the island a little bit, and we went to. He was driving along the coast, and I said, "Well, what do these houses cost?" He said, "Oh, about $180,000." I said, "What? I'll take 5."
Yeah, we rented a car in both Aruba and Carousel. In Aruba, we rented a Jeep so we could go down the beach side. So we took the Jeep up the main highway to the lighthouse at the north end of the island, and then we came back down on the other side of the island. It's not a very big island. We came back down. It's the Atlantic side, the Atlantic beach, which is pretty rocky, and you know, a lot of surf and a lot of natural beauty. A rugged little trail too. A lot of ATVs and Jeeps and off-trail vehicles there. People going back and forth, and we made our way back down to a little chapel called Alto Vista, which is really a beautiful little chapel. And got out and did a little genuflection, and, you know, lit a candle and dropped $1 in the box. But it was very pleasant. And then we went and had lunch at a really great, probably the best Italian restaurant I've ever eaten at was on Aruba. It was really
Get
good.
out. Really?
I couldn't believe it. The guy that owned it, apparently he was half Italian and half Aruban. I'm not sure which half was which. And so he'd go back and forth, and he ended up owning 5 or 6 restaurants in this one little area. And some nice restaurants. It was really cool, Ken. They had these big 20, 30-pound wheels of mozzarella cheese on. There must have been 30 or 40 of them that were up on shelves, and then they had about 20 Italian hams that were hanging. It was a pretty cool little restaurant, and it was really good. They make their own pasta fresh, and of course they make all their sauces, and the wife was happy, so that was good. Great wine.
That's always important, Doc. Always important.
That's always important. And I forget the name of it, but any rate, when you go to Aruba, look for that little Italian restaurant. What was it called? I'll have to ask her at halftime, and I'll tell you after the break. Any rate, that was really neat. We enjoyed that. And then Carousel is a bigger island. The population is probably twice that of Aruba. And it is a really nice island. There's a lot of scenery there. It's humid, and there's rain showers every afternoon, kind of like Florida. There's some lovely beaches, and we had a good tip from the guy we rented the car from. He said, go to this beach. There's sea turtles. So we went to this beach, Ken. Of course, she's fussing all the way up. It's a 40-minute ride, and all she's looking at is scrub vegetation. And you don't know what you're doing, and you're driving me. At any rate, we get there, and of course, she falls in love with it. And it was too cool. I guess the local fishermen throw the guts and everything out after they clean their fish, and it attracts a lot of wildlife in the water there. And there's these huge green turtles, sea turtles, that are all over the place, and there's people snorkeling with them and swimming with them, and the water's crystal clear, so you can see them, and there's little ones and big ones, and they come up and grab a breath there and go back down. It was really a nice thing to see.
That's why I like taking a cab. I'm like you. I just like jumping in a cab or something.
Well, I don't take cabs. I don't take anything. I drive. I'm too much of a control freak. At any rate, I
don't like the planned excursions, though.
No, I don't do those. No, sir. I don't do planned excursions. So then we went and ate lunch at a little local restaurant this guy turned us on to, and they had what are those lizards that are on the island? What are they called? Any rate,
the big lizards.
Yeah, the big lizards.
Yeah, iguanas.
Iguanas, that's it. And so they had iguanas on the menu. So of course I don't eat meat, but everybody else got some iguana and tried that. And they said it tasted like chicken, but it was bonier.
Of course, yes.
So I guess everything tastes like chicken. But that makes sense, because basically chickens are the descendants of dinosaurs, and so are iguanas. So I guess the meat would taste pretty much the same.
Well, I'm not going to go and try out, so
you'll stick with what you got.
I'll go to the Italian place.
And then we went to the other side of the island, and there's a little national park there, and that's also on the Atlantic side, and pretty rugged coast. And they have blowholes. Have you ever seen a blowhole?
Like a geyser at Yellowstone, similar to that?
Well, what they are is they're like keyhole inlets on the shore, on the rocky shore. And so as the surf comes in and it stacks up inside of these little keyholes, it blows this huge jet of water up in the air. It's really cool. I tried.
So it's just a pressure thing from so much water.
It's just a pressure thing. Of course, she loved that. And Zeke calls my trips, my son, he calls them popscursions. So we had a popscursion. Now, the most striking thing about the ship was the amount of obesity. Oh my God, it's out of control.
It's a cruise ship, Doc.
It's out of control, and for men over 65 to 74 years of age, 42% are obese, and the women are 46%. That's kind of hard to believe, but
technically, what's obese? How far over your ideal weight do you have to be?
BMI should be over 30 or over, and you're considered obese.
And how do you figure your BMI?
You go online and you put in your weight and your height. And
okay.
There's formulas you can use, and they're fairly complex, so I don't even try to calculate it. I just go online.
That's what I would do too. Sure.
Let somebody else worry about it. So Aruba, the Dutch Antilles were part of the Netherlands. They're semi-autonomous, but they're still part of the Netherlands, the Dutch Empire, Royal Empire. And I guess they have their own governments, but the Dutch will intervene occasionally if there's problems with rigged elections. And so Aruba, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, are considered I guess they're kind of grouped, but I think Aruba is independent of the other two. But still, they speak the same language, which is, they call it some kind of a patois language. They say, well, it's African. It's mostly Spanish with some Dutch and English and a few African words thrown in. But, they think they're speaking African, so we'll let them think that. And they're multilingual. They speak English, Spanish, Dutch, and their own little dialect, and they actually have their textbooks in Dutch, so the kids go to school and they learn everything in Dutch, and then they also learn English as a second language, and there's so many Venezuelans and Central Americans that have immigrated there that Spanish is also a common language. And a lot of different ethnicities. There's Indian subcontinent Indians, from Asia, who were brought there as cheap labor hundreds of years ago, and it's on both islands. We didn't go to Bonaire, of course, but it's the smallest of the three. And then the shopping it's not great, but I did find one shirt in Carousel, and they've got a really neat floating bridge that goes.
I like the floating bridge. That's cool. Yeah,
that goes across. And so my wife was trying to get Zeke and his girlfriend to do a quick shopping trip, and I'm like, they're not going to have time. The ship's leaving at 4:30. She said, oh, they'll be okay. They'll be back. Well, they went across the bridge to do a little shopping. Guess what?
Yeah.
They opened the bridge. They're like, oh God, we're not going to get back. I think they got back at like 4:29, and the last people to get on. Then they pulled up the gangplank. But
they will leave without you.
No, they don't care. Those big cruise ships.
That's right.
They would have been spending the night in a couple of nights in Carousel, and then they'd have to grab a plane back to Fort Lauderdale.
Was that your last stop, Carousel?
Yeah, but then we had 2 nights at sea, so it was a pleasant trip, and what little I remember of it when I was sober.
Now, come on, Doc.
No, I remember a lot of it. It was nice. It was fun.
Get any pool time, or was the pool just too crowded?
It was too crowded for me. It looked more like. Well, I can't say that. Well, let me use the proper medical word, a urine pool. I figured, if you want to get your urea bath, it's good for skin. The urea is what we use in a lot of our lotions and emollients and topicals. We put a little urea in everything, and it seems to help the skin. So everybody looked good when they came out.
Well, I've got a whole new view of cruise ship pools now. Thank you, Doc.
You got a whole new perspective on that.
That's right.
Oh my God.
You're right. I never spend a lot of time around the pool anyway. So. That's usually where the grill is, though. I do like those burgers they usually cook up on the grill.
Yeah, and they have one of the all-night bars is up at the pool. I think it's open until 2 or 3 in the morning. So, of course, I became frequent with that, running up to get a beer. So I could work a crossword puzzle and fall asleep. But we got a junior cabin. Initially I had gotten just a regular cabin because that's what I was given orders to do. And of course, when we got in it, she said, "This is too small. Who got this? And why did it?" I said, "This is what you told me to get." You're always blaming me. And so we promptly trotted down to the concierge desk on the main promenade deck, and we don't have any suites right now. William and Myung Ju Handelman, and can you put us on the list? Sure. And of course the ship wasn't full, so we got a call within like 15 minutes. We've got a junior suite open. I said, we'll take it. And so then she was happy. We got her calmed down with that. Of course we had to move. And
that come with a deck?
It had a little deck out there and 4 chairs, a little table, and a really nice view of the ocean, which was monotonous after a while because all you see is water.
Great place to take a nap, though.
Great place to take a nap and to dry out your clothes too after you do.
A lot of people do that.
You do a little quick wash and then throw it out.
You do see a lot of that.
But we had a good time there. And she was happy. And, that's a lot of it is just keeping everybody happy, keeping the family happy. Zeke and his girlfriend had a good time. And
no COVID problems?
I didn't hear of any COVID on the ship. And if there was, it was pretty mild. We did take some Paxlovid with us just in case. I see where the president's on Paxlovid. He's got apparently the BA2 variant, which is similar to the Omicron. I guess it's highly contagious, but not very serious. And then they've got the BA3 and 4 coming out, and they say that the antibodies should help protect against those. I mean, the antibodies will at least decrease the symptoms and the length of the disease. And then you jump on the Paxlovid, and you should be fine. They say there's a 10% rebound recurrence after taking Paxlovid, but I haven't seen that data, and I don't know if that's really well vetted and well structured studies, because some people may forget to take doses, or there may be some other confounding factors that we don't know about. But I think the Paxlovid is a good drug. I took it, Ken, when I had it. Remember when I had it a few months ago?
Yeah.
I took the Paxlovid, and I was still out riding my bike and doing honeydew projects around the house. Put in a grab bar in my bath, and changed out toilet tank kits, and did some work out in the garage, and I really didn't feel bad at all. So I think the Paxlovid is a good thing. The president's on it. Please, God, keep him alive. Don't let him die. And
I've had one booster. Should I have had another by now?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a yes?
That's a yes. I recommend 4 boosters.
How many?
2 boosters after you've had your initial dose.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now,
okay, so I'm a 1 booster down then.
You're 1 booster down. The other thing we can do is we can draw blood antibody levels and see if you have adequate antibodies. If you're 100, 120 in our lab, you should be fine. But
okay.
if you're below below that 100 level, it wouldn't hurt to get a booster. Wouldn't hurt at all. And if you just want to be safe, even if your antibody levels are fine, another booster will make you even better. You might get sick for a couple of days, but you'll get over it.
Well, I got another appointment with you in about a week or so, I think.
Well, it's about time you got down there. I'm running out of money.
Well, I'll get boosted again, so remind me to get boosted. Before we boost on out of here for a quick cup of joe, shall we do a question?
Yeah, let's do a question, man. We haven't done that in a couple of weeks.
All right, this is for 2, count them, 2 Dr. Bill, your Radio MD coffee mugs. And the first person with the correct answer will win at 877-969-8600. The question is, and if you've been listening at all today, you'll know, where did Doc go on his cruise? Oh, I just messed up the...
What'd you do?
I just gave the answer. I said, where'd you go? I was going to say, where'd you go on your vacation? The answer was going to be a cruise. But I said, where'd you go on your cruise? So now I have to come up with another. Okay, what island did Doc stop at on his cruise? There.
Any
Starts
island.
With an A. Starts with an A.
Okay. We got that. It starts with an A. All right, we'll do it. Hey, listen, by the way, I had a complaint from one of our Facebook listeners who said that a few weeks ago they couldn't hear your voice. So I want you to make sure you're hitting all the buttons on the console.
If you can hear me, they should be able to hear me.
Well, if you hit the private one, and then only I can hear you. So.
Oh, no. Right now, they should be hearing me perfectly.
I don't even know if I'm streaming. I can't see myself, but we'll see. This is Dr. Bill. I'll be right back. We're going to grab a cup of joe.
All right, Doc. See you in a few minutes.
Here's the latest from the Answer News Center.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, says the Chinese military has become significantly more aggressive and dangerous over just the past 5 years. The top U.S. military official making his comments during a trip to the Indo-Pacific that includes a stop today in Indonesia. Milley says the number of intercepts by Chinese aircraft and ships in the Pacific region with U.S. and other partner forces has increased significantly over time, and the number of unsafe interactions has risen by similar proportions. Israeli police say troops and special forces on an arrest mission exchange fire with armed Palestinians in the West Bank today. At least 2 Palestinians were killed. And a man accused of attacking New York GOP